Old Town slugger. Why after why we ain't never got a suffer nigga to the top floor, but we started from the gutter.
It's a series the Patriots dominated the 2 previous decades, winning 35 of 42 meetings with the Bills. But things changed in 2020, and the Bills can make it 4 for 4 this decade. Next.
It is clear, but it is cold here today as EA Sports takes us to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. All the success in New England over the last few decades, and this crowd has never been more enthusiastic. A moment ago, the Pats emerged from their locker room. They are set as they'll square off with the Buffalo Bills. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. The Patriot offense ready for their first drive, led by Mac Jones, the Heisman Trophy finalist and 15th overall selection this spring from Alabama. Jones on 1st and 10. And his first look is incomplete. These two teams, you may recall, they didn't play each other till late in the year. Their first meeting was not too long ago, back in Week 13. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. Meanwhile, Jones' throw taken in by 9. Throwing Jones. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. And the AFC's Pro Bowl punter last year, Jake Bailey, on to punt for New England. Jabril Peppers deep to receive. This is taken at about the 14. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. Throwing to start the drive. Allen eluding with losing out, as we were talking about earlier. There has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws the quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. Takes 2 to tango. Allen going to try and throw on 3rd down. He'll dump this down to Matt Breida. And he is going to have a Bills first down, as that'll be a pickup of about 5 as they convert on 3rd and inches.
Offensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. 2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. And again, it's Allen. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Matt Judon make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Flush to his right. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Dante Hightower. So the interception there, and Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched the playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football because turnovers in that situation, they really become magnified.
A look at the numbers for Harris in last week's game. 20 carries, 69 yards, and a touchdown.
Has 9 rushing touchdowns on the season, so a lot of credit has to go to the rest of the offense because you know those big guys up front are doing work. But now, the goal is to get to 10. And don't for a second think that the defense doesn't know that. They'd like to do their best to keep him at the end zone in this one.
Jones throw into the hands of Henry here. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Harris going to get it again on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. But keep in mind, if you're thinking of staying on the ground, this is a top 5 rush defense.
Yeah, but I don't think you shy away totally with the run. At least show them the hint of a run before you decide to throw the football.
On 2nd down, it's Harris, and he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. It's his 9th rushing touchdown on the year and 11th overall. And the Pats have taken the early lead. So the toss play effective, even down here near the goal line.
Yeah, and you're hoping the defense can miss too many men to stop the run in the middle of the field and that your blockers can gain a little bit of an advantage. And when they do, foot race to the pylon, and this time, he had the speed to win that race.
Crosby connects on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
Let's get up.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. There's just
and now off to the races down the right side. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Kadarius Toney, his 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season. And the Bills are an extra point away from tying the football game. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. Well, like so many wide receivers, he is a threat with the ball in his hands, and he's able to do his damage here after the catch. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. New England trying to get a place on offense. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. 2nd and 10. A very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. Now a throw downfield is taken in by his running back. And he almost made it, but just short. Finally out of bounds, right down around the goal line. A big play there on the catch and run. The offense has to love that because that was just a dump down, and then he turned something out of seemingly nothing.
And the best quarterbacks understand that dumping it down is often a good play, a better play than even what was drawn up.
That ball's caught. Aguilar right side. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. These two teams all tied after one. Start of the second quarter from Foxborough. It's the homestanding Patriots with the football. As they come up now, 2nd and goal. Now Jones. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
This Buffalo defense has stood their ground. This is 3rd and goal. Harris. And he is in. Touchdown, New England. Damian Harris with his 2nd touchdown in this first half. And the Patriots have taken the lead. So it was the passing game that got him down here. The closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get him over the goal line.
Extra point up and good by Crosby. And that makes the score 14-7. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This taken in at the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Out come the Bills as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. Well, we do know, Charles, they will be in the playoffs. They currently sit at pole position #1, but nothing's set in stone right now. They still have to earn that top spot.
And it makes me reflect back to preseason when you and I do our tours of camps.
He's got a man complete. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A big gain there for the Bills. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And some room to maneuver. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. A big gain there for the Bills.
How about our reigning AFC Player of the Week, hot-footing it into the secondary on that run?
Yeah, a nice long run. That's what got him the award a week ago. Maybe he's trying for 2 in a row here this week. First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Touchdown! Matt Breida. His 21st touchdown of the season. And the Bills are an extra point away from tying the football game. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And we are tied here in the second quarter. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it culminates in a Bills touchdown. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. Gunnar Olszewski bringing it out. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And he's going to have a Patriots first down as he gets this up past the 30 to the 32. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On the give, this is Harris. The tackle is made by Micah Hyde.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Flushed out right. Now it looks like we've got a Patriot down, slow to get up. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And Harris is not going to get there. Great work defensively to stop him short. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away.
We play to win. Let's go.
Back now on offense, the Buffalo Bills. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
Allen will try again on 2nd down. That'll be complete to Breida. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
We got this.
He's fresh off that 3-touchdown performance last week that got him AFC Offensive Player of the Week, so you know that he was already on their radar. Now he's maybe even a bigger plane on their radar.
Bigger plane. I mean, he is the big dot on that screen that they're looking at and saying, how in the heck do we stop him? They're going to try a bunch of different things, different people covering him. But right now, he's locked in and is in sync with his quarterback.
And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. A big gain there for the Bills.
I'll tell you what, partner, you get the football in his hands, just give him a little bit of open space. As we just saw, he can make you pay.
And he wasn't the top option there, but check down turned into 1st down and then some. And he's going to bring this one down to right about the 20-yard line. 42 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. On 2nd down, a run with Breida. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll say no gain on the play, so it was looking good, but nothing there. Now it's 3rd down and inches. He'll buy some time right. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Josh Allen taking it in from the 20. And the Bills have broken the tie. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead is now 21-14. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it was Josh Allen using his legs to polish things off. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Olszewski now from his end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Damian Harris and the Patriot offense ready to take over again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game, because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Here's Jones throwing on first down. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
So much for the best laid plans and best designed plays. That was good coverage along the sidelines. No place for that one to get in there. It sails incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Looking to throw. Jones. Complete. Hunter Henry with a grab. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. They'll look to throw again. It's caught by Aguilar. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you. Mike 8. I'm coming after you.
Again, he'll drop to throw. That's swung out wide to Harris. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
This has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
He gets it complete to Harris. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. So the completion good for 7 there. And it'll bring up a 2nd down. Back to throw again. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go.
Tight defense there on 3rd down, but what a product of good coaching and even better execution because he realized he's in field goal range. No sense forcing anything, and he made sure he didn't.
And Crosby puts it through, and that will do it for this first half. Well, that came a little abruptly here. Still working on my apple up in the booth. Hang on here. Let me spit this out. And we can get to the 3rd quarter now. Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this 3rd quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3? Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at about the 32. Off the play fake. Allen rolling to his right. That's caught by his tight end Dawson Knox. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
They talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 53 yards rushing for him now, and he's only carried the ball 4 times. They've got the lead early here in the 3rd quarter, and runs like that are how they established that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the 2nd half.
He's going to fire one, corner of the end zone. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. Kadarius Toney with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the 3rd most in a single year. And the Bills will extend their lead. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it ends in a Buffalo touchdown. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away.
Keep playing hard.
Here comes the Patriots offensive unit. They'll have it first here to begin the third quarter. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
Again, it's Harris on second down. And he'll get this up only to about the 33.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
And he will have a first down here at about the 40.
And that's a run characteristic of Damian Harris. When he touches it, he gets not what's just blocked, but he gets a few more yards as well. He's been dinged up his first 2 years with the Patriots, only 10 starts a year ago. But you have to believe that this coaching staff thinks that he's capable of bigger and better things.
Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage would be found.
On 2nd and 12, Jones. Catch is made by Harry. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back to throw. Jones. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down.
That's a pretty throw right there. That ball's in the air a long time, but it's right on the money on the right sideline. A really good route. Moving the defenders towards the middle of the field before breaking to the sideline. What a completion there. Big-time arm strength. Very nice route.
Ball hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
A 2nd and 10 now. 3rd quarter action from Foxborough. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Completes it to Aguilar. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
This one to Bourne, and he's got it. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9.
A very important 3rd down conversion right there, because when you're trailing and find yourself this deep in enemy territory, the kicker's not even part of your thought process. You got to make it pay off with 6. Nice connection right there to set up 1st and goal.
And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. On 2nd and goal, Jones. And that's going to be caught for a Patriot touchdown. N'Keal Harry, his second touchdown on the season. And the Patriots have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. They'll try and throw for it. And this is caught. They got it. And that could be an important 2 points. It gets them back within a field goal. I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call. And he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion. And now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
Stevenson elects not to return it. It's a touchback. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Check down to Breida. And some room to work. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. A big play there on the catch and run. Well, Matt Breida actually had the fastest play of 2019, hitting 22.3 miles an hour on an 83-yard touchdown run, and he was moving here too. On first down, here's Breida. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Give him maybe a yard. Quite the opposite from the previous big gainer. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this fourth quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the fourth quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing. Slow them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Now, that's certainly an important touchdown there. It makes this a 2-score game.
But as we've seen, no lead is safe in this one with the way these two offenses have lit up the scoreboard. I would imagine that on their sidelines, they're both yelling at their defenses, hey, you want to get involved here? One big play from you, that could win the game for us.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Olszewski now from his end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The Patriot offense heading back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And for them right now, not a done deal. They are holding down one of the final 3 wildcard spots with 2 weeks to go. But, you know, there are others, Charles, kind of nipping at their heels a bit.
And, Brandon, it's always worth keeping in mind, and I have to keep writing it down for myself. Remember, it's 7 teams in each conference now making the playoffs. So that brings more important games to the end of the season. So, in theory, more teams alive for a postseason berth later in the year.
From the 30 on second down, Jones. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Well, to me, there is no question about the intent there, and I think he was a little fortunate that the penalty flag didn't come out for grounding. But he'll get away with it and get another shot on third down.
Jones now from the gun on third down. And they take him down. The Bills get to him. Ed Oliver in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Boy, Charles, that time he took a bad situation and made it worse.
Yeah, you're almost putting together a nice little song there, aren't you? Because it's something you'll see from young quarterbacks. They have that tendency to retreat backwards instead of stepping up in the pocket.
Now a deep ball going to be caught here near midfield. And all the way down to the 26. And a really unbelievable play there on 4th and long. On the defensive side of the ball, that's the definition of frustrated. You get them to 4th down, and then you allow a chunk play like that in the passing game.
Almost felt as if that play was drawn up in the dirt on the sideline. They pulled that from a game plan that wasn't this game, and they still made it work.
So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. Meanwhile, Jones' throw here into the hands of Harry. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Hey, man, watch the boot, watch the boot.
Looking to throw. Jones. And that is incomplete.
Well, you know you don't want to make a mistake in that area, so you make sure you make a smart throw. Throw it out towards the sidelines. If you overshoot your guy, so be it. It's just the incompletion that we saw there.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They hand this off to Harris. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Patriots with a football as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about, and you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it, and oftentimes knock it away.
The kick by Crosby is good, and this is back down to a 7-point game. So you knew one way or another that they needed the 2 scores. They get the easy one out of the way. Now they'll get the ball back, hopefully.
Yeah, and the question is, how do you accomplish that? Do you onside kick it? Or since you have all 3 timeouts, do you kick it deep? To me, I'm playing field position. With all 3 timeouts, I kick it deep and try and pin them back there.
Stevenson elects not to return it. It's a touchback.
Let's go.
Buffalo set to get the football back here. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a 1st down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
They'll start on the ground with Breida. And he stopped immediately there. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They run again with Breida. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
It's easy work, and it's
Now the Patriots will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They'll try to pick this up on the ground with Breida. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. They run for it with Breida. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38.
Come on, fellas.
Thought they might throw the football with a little chunk that they had remaining on 4th down, but they ran it. They got it.
And the reason they were able to get it done, he ran that play with conviction, didn't he? Understood he would get a little bit of help from his friends up front, but it was really on him to go ahead and make the power move and get it done, and that he did.
So Allen's going to look to throw. And he'll find Hall. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A big gain there for the Bills. But that last throw, Charles, puts him over 15,000 yards passing now for his career.
And, Brandon, they're not going to stop the game and give him the game ball here, but that's still a pretty impressive number, and he's got plenty of more good football ahead of him. Although I would say the team should give him a game ball after it's all over.
Escaping the pressure right. Oh, no, he lost the football, and the Patriots have it. A disappointing end of the sequence there. He was starting to turn nothing into something, and then he lost the football.
And sometimes things get lost in the transition. And what I mean by that is you go from being a passer to a runner. And at a certain point, once you cross the line of scrimmage, you're strictly a runner now. There's no more downfield threat. Make sure you take care of the football while you're traversing downfield.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Buffalo, the wins keep coming as this one moves them to 12-3 on the year. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for New England, it's a tough blow to their playoff aspirations as they drop to 9-6. And they'll get a
Salute when you see me. That jealousy is an ocean and you either float or you sink it. Moment of truth, credit check, you not approved. BB King, I'm in love with the blues. Don't start me up, I got finishing moves. Look, salute when you see me. Slid through all the commotion, it's breaking news, they got an ad on TV. Popping out on them, I'm politicking, probably in a section where you not permitted. My honey's matching my Dodger fitted, playing all goal, ain't no stopping in it.